Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Jay Myrax with UltraWest.com. I just wanted to tap in with y'all real quick on YouTube because, you guys been holding me down from day one. I appreciate all y'all that have been continuing to subscribe to my channel, who have been continuing to like my videos. And, I know that I post infrequently, but I'm in the process of changing things in my life always. You got to keep moving forward. And, there's definitely going to be some changes to the way I post and where I post and how I post. So I appreciate y'all that are continuing to support the channel. But yeah, I wanted to include you guys into this conversation because I think it's an important conversation. It's more, I'm really proposing a question here. I would love to hear your feedback, your comments, and your thoughts on this. But essentially, I just had a conversation on Instagram talking about it was in relation to a Twitter post I made. I've now taken that Twitter post down because I thought that it would be more appropriate to have the conversation on video because I couldn't provide enough context on Twitter. But what I posted on Twitter was essentially, I'm surprised that music producers have not started bundling Replica fashion and apparel into their type beat licenses and bundles. I'm surprised at that because, my thought is that, first of all, music and fashion are very closely connected. I believe that there is a lot of synergy between the value of each, and I think that there's a lot of overlap in the reasons that people purchase each of those things. And, in the fashion industry, there is a replica market. There's a replica market where basically companies, manufacturers will take design language, design elements. They may take, similar types of style and aesthetics from a known brand, may not use the exact same materials. In some cases, they do use the same materials, but a lot of times it's either heavily inspired, if not, one-to-one recreating the look and style of, some notable fashion apparel. Like, it could be some Jordan replicas or off-white replicas, or it could be, name your brand, Supreme, whatever your fashion taste, Gucci, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be inspired by any of those popular brands that there is a known consumer for. And usually what happens is the replicas are sold, by smaller vendors usually, but there's a market out there that is buying that stuff because they want to have that look, but maybe cannot afford to buy $1,000, Gucci or Louis or whatever it is that the style is of the day. So my question is, with a type beat, is it similar? Is it not the same as selling a replica? Because essentially with a type beat, you're taking a lot of the same sonic aesthetics. In some cases, you may be using the same drum kit. You may be using the same, synth patches, a lot of the same sound design, a lot of the same rhythmic aesthetics and patterns, and a lot of the same elements, design elements. To me, those are all design elements. So you're taking all those musical design elements and putting them into your music to try to convey the vibe and the energy and the style of a notable artist. So, if you're making a Travis Scott type beat, then you may take a lot of the same types of elements. Like, yeah, they use these types of drums and they use these type of sounds and they do the patterns like this, and it all comes together, and that's the vibe for Travis Scott. So my thing is, I'm surprised that producers haven't started saying, okay, we're going to have Travis Scott beats, and then we also going to have these Travis Scott type shoes, and here's some Travis Scott type clothes, and we're going to put that together, bundle it, because we always say that, man, these artists, they always have money for Jordans and they have money for all this stuff, but they don't have money for beats. Well, it's like, well, what's stopping you from putting some Travis Scott type or replica apparel into your Travis Scott type beat sales, right? And I understand, like, I'm not by any means condoning the sales of replica apparel, because I know that it is illegal. It is not lawful. But I think one could argue that in recent times, the blurred lines case with Pharrell and the Marvin Gaye estate and Robin Thicke and all that stuff, right? I think that has given us some clues to the legality of type beats as well, because essentially Pharrell and Robin Thicke had a Marvin Gaye type beat, if you want to look at it that way. And the courts ruled in favor of the Marvin Gaye estate that this type beat was not lawful and they had to pay for it. So I guess my question is, are type beats the same thing as replicas, like replica Jordans and unauthorized Off-White and unauthorized, Fear of God and all that stuff, right? Is it the same? Is it different? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback. Some of you may vehemently disagree, like, no, this is just an SEO tactic, and we don't take the design elements. I want to hear it all, because I just, it's a conversation. Me personally, I use type beats. I will say type beat because I understand that aspect of searchability. Totally get that. But I think there is a fine line between, having a brand being and using that brand to create more visibility for yourself versus taking most of the design language and elements and, essentially creating a replica. That's my personal opinion. I think there's a fine line, and I also understand that it can be limiting to only look at an artist and use their aesthetic and style to provide a fashion option, so to speak, for an artist to represent their creativity on. I think that it may be limiting for them. It may not allow them the opportunity to fully explore what their own tastes are musically, what their own aesthetic is artistically, and really build something that is more unique to them. I think that that's the challenge with type beats, is that at some point the artist, the consumer, is going to have to be willing to explore what is important and valuable to themselves. So that's my personal opinion. I would love to hear your feedback on this topic, so feel free to chime in on the comments. All right. Until next time, I want to just wish y'all, a lot of love and peace, and just peace and God bless. And we're gonna continue doing these videos, continue to open the conversation up. All right. Yeah. Peace.